Welcome to the Fantasy Forecast. I'm John Amari of the Washington Post. I'm back to provide analysis for the fantasy football season, which is upon us as the NFL begins its 2018 season this weekend. Now, what do I usually do? I have a weekly column that comes out Friday mornings, is updated Friday afternoon on injuries. It offers some advice on players that are a little bit on the fence for a flex play and a couple long shot opportunities for those in need of a fill-in or have players on bye or looking at dailies, some cheap opportunities. For those of you looking for advice, you can draw me a line on Twitter. My handle is at John_J_Romero. Let's get right to it. We're going to start with a guy who's probably got drafted in the first few rounds, maybe as early as round 3, maybe as late as round 5. Generally, his ADP was in the top 40, but he might be a guy you need to sit this weekend. Who am I talking about? Amari Cooper of the Oakland Raiders. Let's start right there. Now, as someone who owns Amari Cooper in a dynasty league, I took a little ribbing on draft day for holding on to him, and that may be warranted. He had an awful year in 2017. But let's just focus on week 1 for now. Long term, I do see Cooper having a bounce back year, but I'm choosing to sit him week 1 against a revamped Rams secondary that's familiar with Cooper. Wade Phillips, just excellent defensive coordinator for Los Angeles. And I just kind of want to see what I get in week 1 out of the Oakland offense. And hopefully I see some positives. And yes, he may be on my bench with points. But sometimes you got to do that to make a guy kind of earn your trust again. So that's what this weekend I think is for Cooper owners, kind of finding out and seeing what they have moving forward. And now to my favorite part of the program each week, digging into our long shot play of the weekend. This season opening weekend, I like the wide receiver from the Miami Dolphins, Danny Amendola. He and Kenny Stills are the 2 starting wideouts. Devontae Parker, not 100% confirmed, but he is likely out for the season opener. But even if he was playing, I really like Amendola this weekend. Titans defense is not very good against the pass. He's developed a nice rapport with quarterback Ryan Tannehill. Miami is at home, should be nice weather. I really expect a very solid game from Amendola come Sunday, and I think he's a great daily play. He probably was picked pretty deep in drafts. I think his average draft position was well over 100, but I think he represents some really good value Sunday, and if you're iffy about somebody else, I think you have a good chance of coming up big with Amendola in the lineup. So that's going to do it for this week of the Fantasy Forecast. We'll be back for week 2 next weekend with advice and predictions. You can reach me on Twitter at John_J_Romero. This is John Romero of the Washington Post. We'll see you in week 2. Thanks.